Roman Reigns worked through the main event of Summerslam after getting hurt early in the match. At Saturday's pay-per-view, Roman Reigns defeated his cousin Jey Uso in a tribal combat match. It was more than 35 minutes long and ended with Roman pinning Jey after spearing him through a table. Right before that, Jimmy Uso turned against his twin brother when it appeared that Jey was about to get the win. Dave Meltzer reported that Roman Reigns got hurt in the match. Meltzer said he didn't know the nature of the issue or the spot where Roman got hurt, except that it happened early on. Despite that, Roman Reigns worked the remainder of Tribal Combat and is set to appear on SmackDown this Friday for a Hail to the Chiefs segment. The segment should provide an explanation for why Jimmy Uso betrayed Jey. Reigns' undisputed WWE Universal Championship and his title of Tribal Chief were both on the line at SummerSlam. It is not clear when Reigns' next title defense will be. WWE has Payback in September and Fastlane in October before a Saudi event and Survivor Series later in the fall. And Brock Lesnar is going back into WWE hibernation. According to Dave Meltzer on Monday's Wrestling Observer Radio, the former 7-time WWE champion and 3-time Universal champion will be gone for a while from the company. Meltzer said Lesnar was originally scheduled for one of the upcoming pay-per-views, but that is no longer the case. There's no definitive timeline for his return, but Meltzer speculated Lesnar would not be back for 4 months or something like that. He said Lesnar will return, but likely for WrestleMania season. The 46-year-old just concluded his 3-match series with Cody Rhodes at this past Saturday's SummerSlam, taking the loss. The feud began after WrestleMania when Lesnar turned on Cody on the Raw the following night. The first match took place at May's Backlash, followed by a rematch at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia later that month. Both Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar shook hands and hugged after Saturday's match, ending their feud. Sonya Deville took to social media to comment on her ACL injury. Sonya on Monday night posted a video on X talking about her injury that was reported on TMZ earlier in the day. Here's what she had to say.
What's up, guys? So, obviously the tag team titles are cursed. I'm just kidding, but like not really. Anyway, as all of you probably already know and heard, thank you TMZ. I have torn my left ACL last week on SmackDown in my match against Bianca and Charlotte. And obviously I will be out for an extended period of time due to the fact that I have to get surgery tomorrow. Obviously you guys all know that I've been working the last 8+ years in the WWE and in my wrestling career to obtain a title of some sort. And I finally got my hands on the women's tag team titles with Chelsea, and I think we've been champs for 20 something days. So obviously it's super bitter to say that it's come to an end due to an injury, especially being that it's my first injury in wrestling or really in sports in general. And I've been a lifelong athlete since I was 5-6 years old. So obviously it's super disappointing and it couldn't have come at a worse time, but I don't really think any injury comes at a great time. And that's kind of just how the cookie crumbles. But what I will say is that my life has kind of been a journey of trials and tribulations, just how so many others have been. And we all go through ups and downs, but something that has kind of always been part of my character and who I am is I love being tested, and I love testing my willpower and my strength, and my mental and physical durability. So I feel like coming back from this injury, although it's unfortunate, I feel like it's going to give me a bigger motivation and just passion for what I already love doing, and that's being in the WWE. So I love you guys. I wanted to thank you guys for all your support and tell you that I'm going to be back sooner rather than later, and I'm going to be ready to put my hair up and square up.
The New Day's Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods returned to action on Monday's WWE Raw after being sidelined for months due to a Kingston injury. Kingston and Woods defeated Eric and Ivar of the Viking Raiders in their return to the ring on Monday's Raw episode, with Xavier Woods pinning Ivar after a limit break to secure the victory. Moving on, Chad Gable is ready to prove himself as a singles wrestler in WWE. On Raw last night, Chad Gable defeated Tommaso Ciampa, Ricochet, and Matt Riddle in a fatal four-way match to become the #1 contender to the Intercontinental Championship. Gable will be challenging Gunther for the title in the future. Gable outlasted Gunther in a 5-minute challenge on Raw the prior week. Despite Gable surviving the time limit, Gunther demanded that the match be restarted. Gunther won the match with a powerbomb. During a Summerslam week interview with SES Scoops, Gable mentioned that he's been asking to prove himself as a singles wrestler for a long time, and vowed not to waste the opportunity he has. Chad Gable responded when asked if he feels he's the best wrestler on the main roster right now by saying, "I keep a close eye on everybody, and when I say I'm ready, I'm not going to say I'm the best. I've got to prove myself to do that, but I believe in myself. I believe that I can prove that." In an Instagram post on Monday, Ronda Rousey responded to her SummerSlam loss and teased that she's departing WWE. Shayna Baszler defeated Ronda Rousey in an MMA rules match at Saturday's pay-per-view. The finish of the match saw Ronda pass out to Shayna's Karafuda clutch. The feud between the best friends Ronda and Shayna began with a surprising turn at Money in the Bank. During a women's tag team title defense, Shayna attacked Ronda. The turn came abruptly and hadn't been built up in advance. Following Money in the Bank, Dave Meltzer reported that Ronda had a hard-out date with WWE. Ronda fueled speculation that she's leaving the company in an Instagram post, writing that she has no reason to stay in the wrestling business after her loss to Shayna. To which she wrote, "Shayna Baszler, you were the reason I got into this business. Now I got no reason to stay." Ronda and Shayna are two of the 4 horsewomen of MMA alongside Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. To build their SummerSlam match, there were a pair of videos on Raw last week about their history with one another. Also, on Raw last night, Shayna mentioned that she beat Ronda and drove her out of WWE, to which the crowd chanted, "Thank you, Shayna." That's it for this episode of The Latest. Make sure to catch our previous episode by clicking on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to F4W Online.